This is SNN, the Suncoast News Network, your local news leader.
Hello everybody, I'm Don Brennan. Thanks for joining us here on the SNN Evening Edition as we get to it at 6. Now, Sarasota School Board member Tom Edwards was verbally assaulted with homophobic vitriol at the board's latest meeting. According to the Herald Tribune, at Tuesday's meeting, Melissa Bacandi, a regular public speaker at these meetings, called Edwards an LGBT groomer and a threat to the innocence of our children due to his sexual orientation. She also was asking why he wanted to read books to elementary students, and she also pleaded for the district to send an email to the parents of all the students who he read to. This woman should have been summarily expelled. The term groomer is used often in the cases of pedophiles, by the way. The board chair, Bridget Ziegler, did apologize to Edwards at the end of public commentary. Edwards said it does come with the position. He understands when he took the position, but any hateful attack like that or of any kind on any members of the board should be shut down by Ms. Ziegler immediately. Just FYI, I was with Mr. Edwards when he read to children at Tatum Ridge Elementary School last year, and it is a wonderful event. Volunteers go there from all professions to read to the kids at Read at the Ridge Day, which actually was again today, but I had jury duty. But everybody does it on their own time to help the kids because reading is so important in their lives. So her statement is asinine. All right, questions continue to surround the firing of Sarasota High School's girls basketball coach, and SNN's Brianna Boskert has been on the story, and she's been trying to get answers for 2 days, and she got some more today.
The outpouring of support for Coach David Gallman continues. Emails flooded the station after Wednesday night's story, not one with a bad thing to say. Coach G is nothing short of a blessing to the Lady Sailors basketball team. I have watched him work tirelessly on days, nights, and weekends to help these girls reach their athletic goals. And another, how does one of the area's most decorated, up-and-coming girls basketball coach get fired during a post-season review of his performance as a coach? SNN reached out to Sarasota High School's athletic director again in search of answers. The administration said they do not have any further information to share at this time.
If I was an athletic director or a principal and we didn't have a girls basketball coach, I would hire him right now. I wouldn't even have any reservations whatsoever. The way he brings in fundraising, the way he, changes the culture of the programs that he goes, I don't know. I think sometimes people don't like change. And sometimes people don't like you to be successful.
Roderick Brooks, head basketball coach at 5A High School, said he thought it was a joke when he heard the news.
You just got to keep going, and that's my message to him is just, bro, you are valuable to this culture. We can't lose guys like you.
The basketball community has made their stance clear. For the players, they told SNN they just want their coach back.
Try and bring him back because he didn't deserve any of this.
I hope that they either give him this job or opportunity back and make sure that this isn't permanent for him.
I just hope that they see everybody's perspective and just take it into them. We all care for Coach G and want him back, so I just hope that they can see that.
Sarasota High made a wave of coaching changes in 2022. Gallman was brought in for girls basketball and BJ Ivy was brought in for boys. The school also parted ways with football coach Brody Wiseman. Gallman is the first change they've made in 2023. Reporting in Sarasota County, Brianna Boskert, SNN, the Suncoast News Network.
And Coach Gallman did not have a statement at this time. He is still employed at Sarasota High School as a para-aide, but one former athletic director from rival Sarasota County schools told SNN that Sarasota High School is one of the best places, in his opinion, to coach due to the great leadership there, and they have a great principal. His words. Yes, the beaches may smell fishy due to the red tide, but the city of Sarasota announced today the red tide debris cleanup will begin soon. Red tide conditions continue to fluctuate day to day and by location, with the occasional strong presence of aerosols. Now, residents are asked to double bag the red tide debris if collected on private property. The debris management company, Cirrus Environmental Services, will soon remove dead fish and other marine debris from Suncoast beaches and shorelines. All right, now a real quick look at our Weather Authority forecast before we get back to our top stories. Alex?
Hello everybody, and hopefully you're all doing wonderful out there. Now there is some red tide present, heavy concentrations or high concentrations Here just on the Suncoast, we can see them in the red and orange shading, some in the yellow, but those winds are also not helping. We've got onshore winds blowing, and it is just making it even worse. We are in a high pressure system right now, which is bringing a sinking atmosphere over the state of Florida, not allowing many clouds to form, thus not making a high % chance of rain here currently. The current temps, we're looking at 79 degrees in Sarasota, 79 in Osprey, 79 at Lakewood Ranch. It's fairly comfortable outside. Morning lows, we're looking to be a little chilly, so getting more inland. You're at the 60-degree mark at Wauchula, 61 Mayaca City, 65 in Venice under mostly clear skies. For the afternoon highs, we're looking at 80 degrees in Sarasota, 85 at Duet, and getting more inland, it gets warmer, closer to that 90-degree mark, 86 at Wauchula. There is a chance of rain coming up. We're going to have more on this chance of rain, as well as more on your 7-day forecast.
All right, thank you, Alex. Now on the heels of a close call for airliners at SRQ earlier this week, the third in the nation in recent months of close planes flying nearby or landing nearby, flying seems to be becoming more and more hazardous every day and for different reasons, passengers included. Tom Costello explains for the second time this week about a violent outburst on a commercial flight.
No! Do not hit him again! Don't approach me, my friend. Do not hit him again!
It's the latest chaotic scene on a U.S. flight, this time before the plane even taxied for takeoff.
Get off of it! Stop it!
Video from a Southwest Airlines flight, Dallas to Phoenix on Monday, appears to show a man shout at and then hit another passenger. In a statement, Southwest tells NBC News in part, our flight crews are well trained in de-escalation and we commend them for managing the situation.
I will kill every man on this plane!
Just 24 hours earlier, another passenger became violent on a United flight. Investigators say that man made threats, tried to open an emergency door, and attacked a flight attendant with a broken metal spoon before other passengers subdued him. On Wednesday, the acting FAA administrator speaking to lawmakers about aviation safety.
So what would have happened if he had succeeded in opening the door mid-flight?
He would not have been able to open the door in flight while it's pressurized.
While rare, this week's episodes highlight the threats flight crews are facing. Flight attendants are routinely offered voluntary defense training led by air marshals.
Pretend like you got a bug under this foot and squash it. Squash it. There it is.
Air marshals are not on every flight, and the TSA chief says even when they are, it's not always their job to intervene.
Our concern is somebody trying to hijack an aircraft or do damage that might be catastrophic to that aircraft overall. We don't want all eyes going on somebody that's engaged in a physical assault.
The FAA has a zero-tolerance policy for unruly behavior with PSA, billboard, and meme reminders. Perhaps best summed up by Granny, don't embarrass me. I raised you better than to act that way.
All right, that was Tom Costello reporting. Now, coming back to the Suncoast, if you were near the Ellington Mall this morning, you might have smelled something you thought was a bad red tide. Well, that's kind of a oxymoron, because it's all bad, or not oxymoron, but there was a hazardous condition nonetheless. It was alert this morning by the Rocky Bluff Library, causing a traffic jam for over an hour. North River Fire District arrived on the scene and contained the chemicals that did spill onto the road. Fortunately, only one lane of traffic had to be blocked, so drivers didn't have to be rerouted. The library did remain open, as this was not an imminent danger to library staff or library patrons. And I meant redundant, is what I meant. Bad red tide is redundant. One professional business group, though, giving Google a run for their money. BNI is a group of business owners dedicated to working together to keep the money within the community here on the Suncoast. Now, members of BNI, as well as visitors, share who their ideal client would be, and then they talk about the services that they provide. And yes, that's all coming together. It's a very good networking platform.
For me, Givers Gain is also about trust. I can trust every person in the chapter I have here. Whether I need someone who does HVAC, I need someone who does plumbing, I need someone who does credit cards. I know I've got a person here that I can say, can you help me, or can you help my client? And that, to me, is very valuable.
Now, the group meets every Tuesday morning at 7:15 at Nathan Benderson Park for their networking and information sharing. And today, SpaceX had a successful launch and then a successful landing at Cape Canaveral. About 2:15 this afternoon, Falcon 9 took off under clear skies. 8 minutes later, the rocket's first stage came back to Earth for an exact touchdown on the landing pad. This was the 13th successful launch and landing of this booster. The rocket's upper stage continued to make a low Earth orbit, and I'm sure people have seen it with these clear skies that we've had recently. We've been able to see all the launchings that have been going on. It's been amazing for sure. And then we even got Venus and Jupiter together too, because they were doing a little cosmic kiss. Still ahead on the evening edition, Senator Mitch McConnell fell. He's in the hospital. We'll tell you about that. And also the gun age, or the age to buy a gun in Florida, is going up. I'll tell you why. Stay tuned.